So once again welcome back you all to our online classes. And see, now you might have seen on the board that I have written here the second chapter name. So that you might have think that what about the first chapter, still we have not completed that. So see, this is due to, according to the board, some syllabus has been reduced. So 30% of your syllabus has been reduced. So according to that, your first chapter had been deleted. So that whatever the things or the concepts we have discussed already in the previous classes, that will be the basic concept for you all, and you should have that basic knowledge to deal with this second chapter, right? So that till in the last class, whatever we discussed till the states of matter, the differentiation between all the three states of matter and how we classify them by depending on the nature of the, or what we can say, the characteristics of matter, particles of matter. So that differentiation we have learned. So when you know the matter, the types of matter, then it will be very easy to understand. Okay. So that in our today's class we can start with the second chapter of your chemistry, that is matter around us pure? So now tell me, what are the types of matter? As already you know, there are three types of matter: solids, liquids and gases, right? These are the three types of matter, and whatever you can see in your surroundings, whatever you observe, everything will be available in these three forms of matter. Yes, you can see. If you in your room, if you observe your books, your pen, your bag, so they are all what? The solid forms, right? And you will be drinking water and juice you will drink, and some beverages like tea, coffee you will drink. So they are all in what? Which form? Yes, they are in the form of liquids. And you all are alive. Yes or no? Are you breathing? And what are you breathing? You are breathing the air. And where this air is present? This air is present in the atmosphere, the surroundings. Yes, no? So that whatever you can see, it will be available in three forms of matter. They are what? Which are those states of matter? One is solid, second one is liquid, and third one is what? Gas. These are the three forms of matter, and everything around us is the matter, and that all the things are available in these three forms of matter. Okay. Then what we have to learn in this chapter? So we are going to learn in this chapter, that is matter around us pure? So these all the types of matter are there around us. So is it pure or impure? So that we are going to discuss in our today's class. So now let me take one example, very common example. So every month or every week you are going to purchase the grocery, right? So always whenever we go to buy some, not only grocery, whatever we want to purchase, so always we look after the quality of the things. Yes or no? So quality means what? It is the purity of that substance. So whenever we going to buy something, we check its purity, whether it is pure or not. If you want to bring some 1 liter of milk, so you will check that whether it is pure or not. And in that milk also many brands are there. So always those brands, the people what they are thinking, always their brand should be number one. So that to make it number one place, so they will be always struggle to make their quality better than the other brands. Yes. So that on basis of that, what we will see, the ingredients we will check, and on that basis of that we will purchase the things. Not only milk I am telling, all the materials, whatever the things we want to buy, we always check their quality. Okay. So that is what? The purity. So commonly you can see that we can say ghee, salt, sugar, milk, like any kind of things we are going to purchase. So always we check their purity. common people, what we think always. If it is not having any kind of adulteration. Adulteration means in the sense what? No other substances should be added. The artificially, the flavoring agents or any preservatives or any additives likewise. So they should not be present in that. Then we can come to the conclusion that that substance is pure. But if as a chemist, if I think, or as a chemistry students, now you all are there in the chemistry class. So in point of chemistry, in the point of view of chemistry, if we think, we are not going to say that as the pure substance. So we can say that as it is not pure. So pure substance in terms of chemistry or in the point of view of chemistry. So always for what kind of substance we say it as the pure? It should not contain any kind of other substances in it. So if only the substance is made with single form of matter, then we can say that it is pure. Now if I say the example, now we can take the milk only as the example. Okay. If I take milk as the example, what are the components of the milk? As milk is very good for health. Always your biology teacher will say that take at least 1 glass of milk every day. Yes, no? Why? Why? Because it is having the proteins. Yes or no? And it is having the fats. It is having the minerals. Yes? Is it having this all the things? And also it is having the water. So these are all the nutrients, they are present in the milk. So that what your biology teacher will say that you have to take milk every day, a glass of milk, so that you will get energy and your bones will get stronger, because the minerals are present in that. Minerals means in the sense what? The calcium is present in it, so that it will make your bones stronger. So that in terms of, if as a common man, if we see this, if the milk looks white in color, yes, what is the color of the milk? White only, no? So if the milk is white, so then what we can say? Yes, the milk is white, then it is pure. Yes, no? And if it is having these all the things, then only what? The milk is good. Yes, it is the good quality milk. But as a chemist, if I observe this, if I see this, and as a chemistry students, if you think this, it is not at all pure. Because here many components are there in it. Not only it is not made with only one kind of matter. These proteins are one kind of matter, and fats are one more kind of water, and minerals are there, water are there. These all are different kinds of matter. And all these components together, they form the milk. Yes, no? So that. So in chemistry terms, what I said? So pure, the substance. If we say the substance is pure, then a substance, if it is made with single form of matter, single form of matter. So if the pure substance, when we say the substance is pure, then that substance should be made with single form of matter. Then only we can say that it is pure. But in case of matter, in case of milk, it is not like that. So here it is having the proteins, and it is having the fats, it is having minerals, it is having water. And if I take it as a single substance, proteins, if I take single proteins, then it is the pure. If I take only fats, yes, the fats are pure. And when they are combined together and form the milk, then the milk is not pure. Then it is impure. Then don't think that yes, it is having all these things and it is not pure substance, whether to drink or not. Yes, it is drinkable. It is very essential to our body. But what I am telling in point of chemistry. chemistry, for which kind of substance we can say it is pure. And now you come to know that whether in our surroundings there are more matter, means the different types of matter are there, whether it is pure or not, you come to know now. So on basis of that, how we can classify the matter into different classifications, so that all we will discuss now. Okay, how can we, depending on their purity, how can we classify them, that we can discuss. I will give you flow chart so that you will be understand better. Okay, instead of simply learning theoretically, if we use some shortcut methods, then that will be better for us. So now I will give the classification of this matter, the flow chart. So matter, what are the different classification of matter? We already know that there are three main classification are there in matter. What are those? Solids, yes, liquids and gases. These are three states of matter. Okay, so matter. So these all three states of matter, it will be classified into two types. One is pure substances and another one is, we can say that, impure, or okay, we can give it as impure. Okay, pure and impure substances we can say, or we can say it as the mixtures also. Instead of this term, we can say what? The mixtures. Pure substances or and mixtures. So these are the two classification of the matter. Mainly all these three kinds of matter together we can classify like this. And again if we come to this, so these pure substances, so these can be classified into, you know about the periodic table. Do you know about the periodic table or not? How many elements are there in total? How many elements are there? 118. Yes, total 118 elements are there. So that those 118 elements are classified into elements. Okay, firstly we will discuss that elements. So pure substances, we can say that two classification is there in the pure substance. One is elements and another one is compounds. Okay, in pure substance again there are two classification. One is elements and another one is compounds. And elements, when we say, there are totally 118 elements are there in our periodic table. So those 118 elements, in this 92 elements are occur in nature. 92 elements are found in nature naturally. They are exist in the nature naturally. And remaining, how many will remain here? 26 elements. So those 26 elements, they are synthesized in the lab, so that they are artificial. And they will be given the name by the any scientist who invented those. So by their name only we will call the elements. On or their place likewise will give the name for them. So 92 occur in nature and 26 are artificially synthesized. So in total there are 118 elements. So these 118 elements if we take, for example I will tell you, if I say all the 118 elements, for example oxygen is also one element. So when we say the oxygen gas, so this oxygen gas purely it is made with the oxygen particles. Yes or no? Only and this is always made with the gold atoms. Yes, and it is silver atoms. So when these are made with only one type of atoms, only one type of matter, then we can say the elements are pure substances, because only one kind of matter is there, or we can say only one kind of particles are present in these all the elements. So that this is what pure substance. And the second one I can say the compounds. Okay. So compounds here, what we can say, for example, I will tell you NaCl. What is this? NaCl. Can you read the name of this? This is sodium chloride. What is this sodium chloride? The common salt which we are using in our home. Yes, you are all using now for food. So that is what? Sodium chloride. This is the common salt. And this sodium chloride is a compound. So always compounds, they are made with the different kinds of atoms. So this here sodium is there and chlorine is there. So both together they form the common salt, that is sodium chloride. And this is the compound, and it is also a pure substance, because when we say one compound, even though it is having sodium and chlorine, when they combine together, then only they form the common salt. So that these compounds are also always, and if we take the sodium chloride, all the particles of sodium chloride are having the same composition. So that what? The compounds are pure substances. And likewise you can take any other, you can take copper sulfate. Yes, you can take aluminum chloride, whatever you can take. So these are what? The compounds, what we can say, they are all comes under the pure substances, because these all the substances made with the same kind of matter. So that what we can say, the pure substances, here comes elements and compounds. And again if we take the elements, okay, these elements, how many elements are there? I said totally there are 118 elements are there. So these 118 elements are all not the same. Yes, some are there in the solid form, some are there in gaseous form, and some are there in the liquid form. So depending on the state of matter, we are not able to classify the elements, but naturally we classify the elements into again 3 different categories. They are, one is metals, another one is non-metals, and third one is, can I write this? Third one is what? The metals. Okay. Here the elements can be classified into metals, non-metals and metalloids. So here metals are having different properties. All the metals, they are having the properties which are same, and non-metals, they are having some different properties, and the metalloids are having their different features or properties. So those, what are the different properties of metals, non-metals and metalloids, we can learn in our next session. Like see, if we take the metals, metals are usually hard. There some exceptions are there. When we are discussing about these elements, we will discuss in detail. So the general properties I am going to explain now, just for the introduction purpose. So metals are usually hard and they are having the ductility. Ductility means we can make them into thin wires, and they are highly malleable, so that we can make it into thin sheets, and they are the very good conductors of electricity, okay, and heat. So that likewise they are having the different properties, and those properties are same for all the metals, except some metals that we will discuss in the later sections. And non-metals, these non-metals are having the properties exactly opposite to these metals. Yes, metals are hard, non-metals if we throw it, they will be break. Okay. And non-metals are not, means they are not conduct the electricity and heat. So that we always use these metals. Metals we use as the conductors in electrical wires and all. And non-metals we are using as the insulators to protect ourselves. And always you can see that always our in our home connection will be there. Those electrical wires, the copper wire and all, they are insulated by the plastic because that is the insulator. So likewise these properties are different. And metalloids, these are such as substances like silicon, germanium and all. So they will having the properties in between these metals and non-metals. The properties, the metalloid properties are in between the metals and non-metals. So about this we can discuss in detail in the later sessions. So this is about the pure substances. So pure substances can be classified into elements and compounds. And then elements are there are 118 elements are there, and those 118 elements are in that 92 are occur in nature and 26 are synthesized in the lab. And those 118 elements are again classified into three types: metals, non-metals and metalloids. And these compounds, when the different elements combine together, they form the compounds. And those compounds, since they are having the same composition, so that we can consider them as the pure substances. And second one, what we can say, the impure substances, that the one more name we had given for that, that is mixtures. So again these mixtures can also be classified into two types. So mixtures are classified into two types. One is uniform mixture and another one is non-uniform mixture. Okay, uniform and non-uniform mixture or substances we can say. So uniform means what? Uniform in the sense you might have understand. So we are also providing you the school uniforms. So uniform means what? Everything it should be same. So when we see you in the school uniform, so everybody are having the same color dress. Everybody are having same color tie, same color belt. Yes, everybody are same. So when we see that uniformity, we cannot differentiate from one by other. So that uniform mixture means here the substituents or whatever we can say the components or the constituent particles, they are spread uniformly in the another matter. For example, if I say the solution of salt, yes, we can say the salt solution. If we take the salt solution as the example, so how we prepare the salt solution? When we add some amount of salt in the water, we can prepare the salt solution. So that when we prepare the salt solution, now I can take, we will say that we have taken one beaker, and in that beaker we have taken somewhat 50 ml of water. So that in that 50 ml of water, I add 1 tablespoon of, in this 150 ml of water, I have added 1 tablespoon of what? Salt. Okay? 1 tablespoon of salt. And I have stirred and mixed it. Now, if you taste this water, now what is the solution? It is the salt water. If we taste it by any side, we can take water from here or we can take water from this side or we can take water from the bottom side. Are you feel the same taste? Or at the bottom you feel somewhat more salty, or at the top you will feel somewhat less salty. Is it like that? No. You will feel everywhere it is the same taste. Then can we say that the salt, it spread uniformly in the water? Can we say that? Then we can say that it is a uniform mixture. Yes. Likewise, if I say some other example like lemonade. Okay. Lemonade lemonade you will prepare. So for making this, what you will add? You will add some lemon juice, yes, and you will add salt, and with that you will add some sugar, yes. Are you going to add all this? And with this, with some ice water you will prepare this. So whenever we mix all these lemon juice, salt and sugar, suppose again if I take one container and if I add all these in this container, can you feel the same taste throughout the mixture, or somewhere you feel sour taste of the lemon and somewhere you feel salty taste and somewhere you feel sugar, like that? Do you feel? So all together you can feel some taste. Yes, no? Then can we say that here when we prepare the lemonade, is it the example for uniform mixture? Uniformly mixed together. So these mixtures, when we classified into uniform and non-uniform mixture, so by seeing these two examples, can you able to define the uniform mixture? How can you define? Yes. If a mixture containing uniform means distribution of the particles, then we can say that as uniform mixture. In a mixture, if the constituent particles spread uniformly, then we can say that kind of mixture as uniform mixture. Is it clear? Yes. And next we can discuss about the non-uniform mixture. So non-uniform mixture means it is vice versa, opposite of this. So here the constituent particles spread uniformly, and here the constituent particles are non-uniform. It means what? For example, if I say now we'll take 1 tablespoon of salt. Okay. And then for that we can add 1 tablespoon of sand particles. So when I will mix these two together, so now can you see the salt and sand particles throughout the mixture? Is it same? The particles, the composition, is it same throughout the mixture? No, it is not the same. So somewhere we can see the salt, the excess of salt particles, or somewhere we can see the sand particles in more number. So likewise, these are non-uniform mixture. If in a mixture, if the constituent particles are non-uniform or they are not spread uniformly, then such kind of mixture, what we can say, that is non-uniform mixture. Okay. And when we discuss all these, when we say the mixtures, like with different types of mixtures are also there. And as we said that in our surroundings the air is present, and I said we are breathing the oxygen. So when we are breathing oxygen, can we breathe only oxygen? Our nose detects whether it is the oxygen or whether it is the carbon dioxide, and when we are inhaling only we have to take, or is it possible to order that air only oxygen should enter in our body, like that? So that it is the composition of all kinds of gases. The mixture, this gas components what are there in our surroundings, that is also what? Mixture only. Okay. So when we have all these kind of mixtures, and when I said the milk is also the mixture, but we are not able to observe them. And even the water, if I said water is also mixture, sometimes if we say the sea water, so that sea water is having many kinds of salt, minerals and all in that. So that is the mixture only. And how can we get, when we say some mixture, in that the particles some are essential and some are not essential. So in that time we need to separate them. Yes. So to get some useful materials from the mixtures, so we need to separate them. So to separate them, there are again different techniques are there. The different separation methods are there. For example, if I say we always separate cream from the milk. Yes, the milk is having the cream and we need to separate the cream from the milk. So to separate cream from the milk, so is there any separation technique? Yes, it should be there. So that what are those techniques? And if I say any liquids are mixed together. So for example, now I want to separate the we will discuss in the next sessions. Okay. So this is about what? The classification of matter. So whether it is the pure or impure or mixtures. So what we have learned in this? We have learned about the classification. Firstly, what we have learned? We learned that the meaning of pure substances. So pure substance means what? If the substance is having only single form of matter. So if you want, take the definition of that pure substance. I will write here. Take the definition of pure substance. Okay. If the substances made with single form of matter, single form of matter, then weak matter, it is called as pure substance. Okay. If the substance made with single form of matter, it is called as pure substance without any other kind of matter. Okay. And then this matter is, we know that the common classification, matter can be classified into solids, liquids and gases, and altogether matter on the in terms of purity, we can classify this matter into two types again. One is pure substance and another one is impure or mixtures. Okay. So these pure substances, they can be again classified into two types. One is elements and another one is compounds. So elements, there are totally 118 elements are there, and those 118 elements are classified into metals, non-metals and metalloids, and these are having the different physical and chemical properties. And next the compounds. So these compounds are it is the composition of the two or more type of elements. So this is what the compounds. And the impure substances or mixtures. So these can be classified again into two types. One is uniform mixture and another one is non-uniform mixture. So uniform mixture, here in the uniform mixture what we can say? The mixture which is having the uniform distribution of the particles of matter, then we can call it as the uniform mixture. And in non-uniform mixture, the particles of matter spreads or distribute in the non-uniform manner, or it is not same throughout the mixture, then we can call it as the non-uniform mixture. Okay, is that clear? And in the next class we can discuss in detail about these mixtures, and later we can discuss about these elements and compounds. Okay, so for this class this much only, and in the next class we can discuss all these things. And if you are having any doubts regarding this, you can contact and you can clarify your doubts. Okay, thank you.